Hello, good afternoon. Today is August the 13th, 2025, and it's about 4:42 p.m. My name is Rinaldo Javier Aguimarcano, and I'm making this video just to record something that happened yesterday. I've been on the fence about making this video because it feels like a personal matter on one side, but on the other side, I can see how it could be weaponized, and I know that they're looking for a way out, so they're gonna try to weaponize it probably. So I thought I should probably talk about it to give my side of what happened. So what happened was that, as I documented yesterday, on August 11, I went to the preschool to pick up Marcelo, and they stalled me in the preschool with the pretext of the clothes being missing, so these people could break into my house, and they contaminated several items inside my home to poison me, right? And they did poison me twice. That's why I'm using this. I cannot use the headset anymore because I don't know exactly what they put on it, right? I don't know if it could be transferred through a skin contact. Um, so if the audio is not very good, I apologize for that. So I guess what happened yesterday was that I wanted to see my son because I haven't seen him in a few days, and I asked my former partner if she could bring him so I could see him, right? But of course, when they came in, I didn't want them to come into the house because during the day she had been texting me, basically asking me questions about what proof do I have that they broke into the house. She wants to know if I have, internal recordings, and that's going to be a surprise in the trial. I'm not going to say yes or no. But they seem very focused on finding an answer to that question. Um, but as I said, it's going to be a surprise. Now, so she's been asking me that question, right? And then she offered me to come. She texted me. In fact, she offered to bring the child. I didn't ask her to. She offered voluntarily because I didn't ask her, to be honest, because knowing that they came inside of the house, I don't know what they could have contaminated, right? It would be a risk for me to bring the child inside. Maybe if he wants to drink water, if he wants to use the bathroom, I don't know, right? He could be harmed. So of course, I don't want him to coming into the house. And also because she's been asking me, she asked me like 3 times yesterday, different questions in different ways, but they seem to me that if I answer the question, they would lead to the path of me telling them if I have recordings, right, of the inside of the house. So uh, so anyhow, we stayed outside of the house in the front porch, okay? And the black Tesla, which I bought in 2021, and she's driving it, was parked outside in the driveway, and she was, that's her car, and she was in the driveway park, right? So I told her I come outside, and I told her not to take the child out, that I would come into the car to talk to the child. So the setup was that the child was in the driver's seat, actually, like he was playing with the wheel. The car was turned off. It was no danger to the child. He was sitting in the driver's seat. So I sat on the passenger seat, and she sat on the passenger seat on the back, so right behind me, right? And I'm talking to the child, and she starts basically telling me that I'm crazy, right? That I'm imagining all this, that nobody's trying to kill me, that and she starts with that dynamic again, right? We already went through that for months, and at this point, I'm tired of that. So I stopped her, right? I told her, look, I don't want for us to become enemies, and um, I have this database. It's not a good idea to keep pushing that narrative because I'm human. At some point, my patience is going to run out, and then I'm not going to have um, distinctions, right? Like at this point, I don't know if you notice, like I never mentioned her name in any of the videos, right? Because she's the mother of my child. But like everything in life, right? Everything has a limit. Like if she keeps pushing that narrative, unfortunately, right, I'll have to see things differently. So I told her that, right? And then she kept insisting on calling me crazy, that that I'm imagining this thing, that nobody's trying to kill me, that I need help, but all those things. So then, because she kept pushing it, I kind of, tried to give her a hint, basically, right? So I mentioned a couple of names in that conversation. I mentioned the name of Jenny Espina, which being documented in the book, in the website, in the IRS form. I mentioned the name of Nelly Espina, and when I mentioned those names, she went ballistic. Like I've never seen in 11 years, I have never seen her in that state. It was worse than when I mentioned Diana E. Chavez Doria. Like the reaction was really like she started screaming. She started like calling me names. Like I'd never heard those words coming from her mouth before in 11 years. It was really shocking, really, to see the transformation right in front of me in just one split second. To the point that she started screaming so loud and calling me horrible names, really. And she started becoming like closer and closer. She was sitting on the back, right? So she started like approaching her face to me, and like gesturing with her hands in such a way that was a bit violent, to be honest. And I thought for a moment she would hit me. So in fact, I asked her, "Are you gonna hit me?" And when I turned around, I saw her face, the way it was transformed physically. I got out of the car because I saw that it could escalate to a physical confrontation. And in that situation, they're gonna say that I attacked her physically or something, right? And first of all, I don't want things to escalate, and secondly, right, I need to protect. I need to protect the message, right? Like I can't let them discredit me, not because it's not ego. It's because I know that if they discredit me, they're going to discredit the message, right? And if they discredit the message, they will win. So I can't let that happen. So I got out of the car pacifically. I didn't say a word. I said, when I got off the car, I got off the car, and then I couldn't even say goodbye to the child. And I felt sorry that the child was caught in the middle of this. She's screaming. Like it wasn't a screaming match. I didn't scream. She was screaming, but the child was right there, right? And I really feel sorry that he has to go through that. So anyhow, I came inside the house, and we haven't communicated ever since. In case they try to make a claim, or say that I attacked her, that I was violent, or whatever, all this should be recorded in multiple places. First of all, that car has multiple bugs, right? And as we were having this conversation inside of the car has tinted windows. But so all these neighbors, like the Salt Typhoon from 26707, they came out and drove next to the car, to download the audio, right? So they could hear what we were discussing, right? And like 2 or 3 of their vehicles in this street, well-known vehicles, drove by at that exact moment to download the audio. And I know they downloaded the audio because I have probes in my property, radio frequency probes. Anyhow, so that's what that's what happened, right? So as I was saying, like this should be recorded in multiple places. It should be recorded in the car itself, in the box that they have. I have some of the streams that I capture. I will try to decrypt them, see if I can record the audio. I didn't have my phone with me, so I do not have myself personal recording. Although I have to check. I'm not sure, because I have my phone. I have software in my phone that automatically records everything, right? Because I know I'm in this situation. I have to record every second of my life for obvious reasons, right? So my phone is rigged to record always, right? So, but I don't know if I had it. I'll check if I have recordings. And then also additionally, the Tesla, the car itself, has multiple microphones in the cabin and that audio gets sent straight to Tesla, of course, because it's a Chinese company, and all the Teslas are a machine of espionage on wheels. So another way authorities can get truly what was, discussed in that conversation inside the car is by subpoenaing these recordings from Tesla. They have them, anyways. So there will be, if it comes to that, right? If they make a claim of that nature, which I think it's possible. I don't know if it's likely, because if if they're going to make the same mistake again of suing me, I have all of this evidence. Although they could try to probably, use the sheriff. If she said that I hit her or something, there was no physical altercation, but they can say anything, right? But anyhow, all that should be recorded in the Tesla vehicle, in the box that they have, in the streams that I captured, and maybe in my phone if I had it. I had to check. Okay. But I guess the statement I want to make is that the situation on her side escalated because I mentioned those two names, Jane Spina and Nelia Spina. She got physical. Like it got to a point where I thought she would hit me, right? Which, believe me, it's not a thing that it's comfortable for a man to say. That I thought for a moment that my former partner would physically hit me. But that crossed my mind yesterday. I thought for a second it could happen, and I got out of the car and came into the house, and I haven't talked to her ever since. Well, thank you so much.